Hello YouTube, back again with another video. Today's video is going to be about making pacts with demons, my thoughts on it, and well, basically, making pacts with demons. You know, this is a thought that is like surrounded with a lot of like Hollywood movie drama and action. Well, I'm gonna give you the real deal explanation about how it actually works and what it actually is. You know, how it basically the 101 about it. Just put it like that. Basically, what is making a pact with a demon? You know, we have in mind about making pacts with demons as though we are talking and saying, "Hey, you're going to do this for me," and next thing and I will give you my soul and stuff like that. It doesn't really work like that, but there is some slight truth to that. You know, the truth is basically it's an energy exchange. When you actually connect with a force through initiation, basically it becomes somewhat like a pact. You know, many Santeria practitioners and Vodouisans, you know, they know what I'm talking about, because the thing is, when you don't feed the spirits or the orishas or the loi that you serve, you begin to get sick and bad things begin to happen. A pact itself is pretty much like an agreement where you take on the responsibility of taking care of the spirits, taking care of the spirit by feeding it, me leaving offerings, there's offerings in the sense of like animal sacrifices, being whether it's that or, that's the thing that's tribal, really done in foreign countries, not in the US whatsoever. But basically incense, via gifts, toys, food, and stuff like that. That's usually made as an offering. Now, the thing about the offerings that you give to these forces, it's not as though they're eating it physically. They're living off the energy in it. They get strong and they get vibrant off of the energy. And everything in Santeria, there's a term in Santeria and Ifa, and there's a term in, Creole. My aunt, I say my family didn't really talk too much to me about this term, but I know what it is from my own personal experiences in studying different other philosophies. Is that within every inanimate object there's this life force called Ashe, according to Santeria. In Haiti, I'm not too sure if they even use that term. But it's, again, my family didn't really focus on talking about the power inside objects. If anything, they didn't even use the term Ashe. They basically talked about things having power and stuff. They never even mentioned that term. But I'm just going to use a term for people that are familiar with it. And sometimes, I don't even want to use the word chi, because it's like kind of a whole different a different field itself. But talking about inanimate objects, there's power in it. There's energy in it. So therefore, when you give to these forces, they become strong. Now what happens is that they need this energy in order to survive. Now what happens is this: when you don't feed them, they begin to get weak. They begin to fade. And in desperation, what they begin to do is that they begin to break things down, in order to replenish itself. I mean, you got to look at, when you talk about spirit phenomenon, you got to understand we are multi-dimensional beings. So for me to even talk about this, I have to talk about this in a multiple sense, because to understand how this thing works with energy and spirits and stuff, like, it's beyond just a spirit appearing before you. When you're talking about a spirit, you're dealing with a cosmic force that is beyond just an astral body. The astral body is a reflection of itself on a higher plane. I mean, if you study Kabbalah, you know about Azaluth, you know about Bariah, you know about Yetzirah, you know about all these higher planes. In each one of these planes, our spiritual bodies dwell on these planes. So when we talk about the offerings with these deities, their energy dwells on different planes as well. So the thing is, talking about the offerings, the highest manifestation of their energy, we can say the Gobon Ange whatsoever, that highest manifestation or part of the inner being. Some people call it the Atman. Every force has a component or components to themselves. That highest component, is like that highest component it is the manifesting force which the astral body reflects through itself. So when you make the offering, it's almost as though the energy is going up to that force and being recycled whatsoever. So what happens is that when the energy doesn't come back, you see your whole world begin to fall apart, because their energy is not concentrated in an astral body. Their energy is concentrated in various things, whether it's inanimate objects, animal, people. So when you start talking about astrology, you talk about zodiac signs, but in reality, the science behind the mystery behind the astrology is that you're still dealing with cosmic forces, or loi, or deity. It's just another avenue that human beings have constructed to make a correspondence. So when you look at, they say Ogun is known, or Ogu Fegai, he's known for like people that are in the military and stuff like that, or police officers, or dogs, boxers, and fighters. So let's just say, example, you're on a highway, all of a sudden you basically don't feed your worker, you don't feed your loi. What happens is that you may be driving on a highway and you got a truck driver, or construction worker. Let's just use a police officer, for example. Not to basically smash police officers and all, but let's just use this as an example. Let's just say you're on a highway whatsoever, and all of a sudden you're speeding whatsoever, and all of a sudden a police officer pulls you over for speeding. Therefore, let's just say this: on a normal occasion, let's just say you have never been caught. All of a sudden, you're rolling down the street when your work is not fed, and you're speeding probably, let's just say, 5 miles over the speed limit. Police officer pulls you over. Now you get a ticket whatsoever. That's a slight way of the energy manifesting when it's unbalanced. Now, in worst cases, again, when you're dealing with these higher forces, these higher, greater energy, the aggressive forces, things can range from car accidents to broken bones to death when the energy is not manifesting. In Haiti, they talk about Ezeli Dontor. They say that if you don't feed her and you neglect her, her manifestation, well, let's just say her reaction is very, very bad. I was told in Haiti that she'll even kill your children. Literally. She protects children. That's on a positive. But her energy goes out of whack, she may kill your children. And notice that from my experience, that when her energy goes out of balance, she begins to harm people around you before she closes in on you. And this is something that a lot of Rada practitioners and a lot of people that go the right-hand path, don't really want to talk about, So as far as that is concerned, that's the take on the offering aspect. But as far as the spirits coming back, yes, that happens. When you don't keep up the part of your bargain, this is why, I say to a lot of people that say they want to go the left-hand path, I tell them that they have to be, they have to be aware of what they're doing, because these forces will come back. Let's just say if you don't make your offerings, you start getting headaches, you start getting sick. Hey, you may even trip down the stairs, you may even cut yourself while you're making food, or who knows, So it, depend on who you make your pact with, because you got forces like, let's just say, Bawan Lacroix. That guy doesn't play any games. He's about death and destruction, very apathetic, You have forces like, what was it? You have Laren Congo, which is also referred to as Trois Femmes d'Egypte, very aggressive force. These forces don't play. So when you're talking about the left-hand path, even the Goetia, which is a whole family of spirits that has nothing to do with voodoo, these forces are very aggressive, very dangerous, So I say, if you're going that path, be aware of what you're getting into, because it's very difficult to address forces that are out of balance, especially, I can't go into detail too much because I have to limit the things that I say due to time itself, but I definitely say that when you're selecting forces that you want to connect with, again, with PACTS, it's not about you talking and saying, I'm going to sell my soul to you. No, it is more of in a sense of commitment. When you make that initiation and you receive your loas, your loa, or your orishas, it is a pact sewn in silence. So it's in a sense that you have to keep up your part of the bargain, or else these forces definitely will come back to haunt you, yes, and not only haunt you, and they'll definitely cause chaos in your life, you know, and to the point where, hey, you know, it's to the, I just play this. It's just a warning to you, you know, be careful, you know, and be safe and be wise with who you select, because once you actually sow that agreement, you know, it's written in stone, you know, and there's no way of going back on it, you know. So with that said, I close this. Like, subscribe. I hope this video was very informative. All right, peace out.